Holy smokes, Donald Trump, Clinton, and a lot of mentions in the latest Jeffrey Epstein files that have just now dropped. I still can't figure out who wrote this. We're going to look at this together, but Exhibit 6 here is really intense on Trump, okay? Look at this. Exhibit number 6. This is in the 29-page file drop that just came out. Out of the 329 pages that you could find on the Pacer court records. I had to pay like $27 to download these files. The government's making money off people just downloading the files now, and they piece them out. But well, they charge per page. But anyway, look at this. This is crazy. Several girls. This is like the full page isn't even here, so this is really weird. But look at this. Several girls at any one time. She confided in me about her casual friendship with Donald Trump. Definitely seemed to have a thing for her, and she told me how he kept going on about how he liked her pert nipples. Donald Trump liked flicking and sucking her nipples until they were raw. One evening, they were showering together. She showed me her nipples. They looked incredibly painful as they were red and swollen. I remember wincing as I looked at them. So this sounds like it's either is this an email or some sort of written commentary from one of the, alleged victims, right? So this is, it was this potentially Virginia? I'm not sure. So let's see if we can try to get the context on this. The files just dropped minutes ago, so we're just looking at this together here at the first moment. But look at this. I also know that she had sexual relations with Trump. Let's see here. Okay. I also know she had sexual relations with Trump at Jeffrey's New York mansion on regular occasions. As I once met Jenna, that's Virginia. Okay, so hold on a second here. So this must be Virginia. Obviously then it's not Virginia writing this. Virginia could have potentially been the one involved with Trump based on this allegation here. But again, there's so much missing here. We don't know who's saying it. We don't know their credibility, but whatever. Just before she was going to meet Epstein and Trump together at his mansion, I will start forwarding you all the emails which I managed to save. They include the following. Big redaction here. I moved from Edinburgh in New York in September 2006, where shortly after the introduction to Jeffrey Epstein by Natalie. Okay, a bunch of redaction here. A couple months later, after he constantly stalked me around Edinburgh, I moved to New York to get as far away from possible. I'll send you a photo amongst other things. I also have other photos of Epstein girls, and whilst on the island, including a couple of pictures of me with Sergey Brin and his fiance. I met, these are big names coming here. Wow, look at this. Okay, I met a pair when they visited the island for the day as Sergey wanted to try out his new kite surfing equipment. Okay, so now we're on to some other discussions here. Email exchanges with Sarah Kellen. Email exchanges with Leslie Groff. I got desperate to get qualified and get a proper career. I'd like to point this out. Email exchange. Okay, so this is like just one random document here. Exhibit 6. In the middle of a bunch of these drops here. Here's an Exhibit 5. She also had sex with Clinton in his New York mansion. So these allegations are just hitting everywhere. They're getting really more juicy today. Keep in mind, Sergey Brin is the former president of Google. She also, okay, whilst he spanked his on her bottom, okay, we'll not mention that word. You can fill in the blank there. She also had to have sexual intercourse with Clinton in Epstein's New York mansion just off 5th Avenue in numerous occasions. It's the New York mansion we spoke about yesterday. I too was forced by Epstein to visit regularly, and if I didn't turn up, he would personally come find me where I was hiding. This is where they're building the trafficking case. This is really interesting. Okay, yeah, I could get a link up to the doc as well. It's just there's only so much I can do at a time, so it's gonna take me a minute. But we'll get that doc up on eHack soon. Well, let's throw in some more annotations here, since this is just all breaking now. Plaintiff now trumps up a claim that some unidentified and undisclosed email account should have been searched and was not. This looks like it's the defendant attorney. Yeah, this is defendant response, this particular document to plaintiff's motion. So this is the defendant's response. I want some more here on, okay, what is this? Filed under seal. Dear Judge Sweet, this firm represents inventor Alan Dershowitz. Okay. So this is going to be a defense of one of the people involved. Oh, Miss Ransom's testimony. Ah, that I think is where that email came from. So Ransom, boy, that's just an ironic name, isn't it? Epstein. So this is Sarah Ransom, but she's not the booker, if I remember correctly. Sarah Ransom. So, let's see. Sarah Ransom. Try to understand. Okay, Jeffrey Epstein's victim, Sarah Ransom. Okay, what can we learn about her? I want to know what her birthday was. Actually, was 22 when Epstein began abusing her in 2006, apparently. Okay, so I think that's actually where this email is from. So this right here, because look at the bottom right here. It says Ransom. So that's Sarah Ransom, who was 22 when first abused by Epstein. I'm just reading this from another source, so I'm quoting it. She dated a JP Morgan employee who told her not to report the abuse. JP Morgan employee told her not to report the abuse. This was, let me just get the citation there. This is, well, I mean, as always, we have to consider the sources. Daily Mail quoted this. I'm just trying to get some understanding from her. Who was 22 in 2006. And so she is discussing this Trump claim here. So several girls at a time, she confided in me. We don't know who she is. We think the she is, okay, the question is she. Was the she Virginia? We think so because of the reference here to Jen. Mr. Trump definitely seemed to have a thing for her, and she told me how he kept going on about how he liked her pert nipples, and we read, obviously, the flicking part. I also know that she had sexual relations with Trump at Jeffrey's New York mansion, as I once met Jen for coffee. Just before she was going to meet Trump. Yeah, okay. So this is Ransom, who was 22 when she began being abused by Epstein. She is writing this allegation about Trump. Now, keep in mind, the problem here is Virginia started working at, we want to say 16 to 17, 1999 to 2000 is when Virginia started working. But Sarah didn't start until 2006, when Virginia would have been, well, at least 6 years older, so 22 to 23. So if Jen met with Sarah while both were working, Virginia would have been above 18 at the time of a Trump relationship. It appears, right? It appears. Just basically from this testimony, it looks like Virginia, even though she may have started working for Epstein underage, it looks like was when Trump, when Virginia was older. Because again, I also know she had sexual relationships with Trump at Jeffrey's New York mansion on regular occasions, as I once met Jen for coffee just before she was going to meet Trump. But again, Sarah did not meet or did not start working for the Epsteins, at least as far as we're aware, until 2006. If there was any earlier start, that would have been more of an issue, obviously. Not that any of it wasn't an issue in total, but we're looking for that underage problem specifically. Yeah, Ransom's been pictured in 2006. Epstein was a JP Morgan client from 1998. This is very interesting. Okay, Epstein, JPM client, 1998 to 2006, it looks like. No, to 2013, rather. Also per Daily Mail here. Recent court filings have alleged JP Morgan Chase viewed Epstein as too big to fail. retained him as a client even after the allegations. Let's see here. Yeah, they've been pictured together. Okay, so there's definitely a history between them. Let's try to get between J.P. Morgan and Epstein. Let's try to see what else is mentioned here on Trump. There are actually 16 mentions in this document about Trump. Again, there's also Sergey Brin here, former president of Google, is mentioned here. And what's interesting is this actually says, I will send you among others as soon as I'm able to fly back to the UK next week, as I definitely 100% have it all in my little storage box. Yeah, that's an interesting way to phrase that sentence. I also have photos of other Epstein girls and I, whilst on vacation, including a couple pictures of me with Sergey Brin and his then fiance. I met the pair when they visited the island for the day, as Sergey wanted to try out his new kite surfing equipment. Okay, fine. Email exchange with Sarah. Okay, fine. So we saw the Trump comment here. Let's keep going. This was a response from the defendant. And then we get over here. What is this document? Filed under seal. What is this? This firm represents the inventor Dershowitz. So this is a defense. Ransom testimony also contains a slew of other incendiary claims concerning sexual proclivities of Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, and other prominent individuals. The emails are a necessary antidote to Mrs. Ransom's deposition misstatements because they demonstrate she manifestly lacks credibility. For example, she writes, my emails have been hacked. I've reached out to the Russians for help, and they're coming to my aid. Thank goodness for Anonymous. I will make sure they all go behind bars. I've already sent everything I needed to the CIA. Hacking my emails were too late. I have numerous devices with systems that are unhackable. I have film footage all over Europe itching to be released. Interesting. Her friend was approached by special forces men directly sent by Hillary Clinton herself in order to protect her presidential campaign. I will make sure that neither that evil bee Hillary or pedophile Trump gets elected. I will also make sure that everyone on the goddamn planet sees that footage and will be released by WikiLeaks Sunday. Obviously, that was a long time ago. Okay. Talks about having gone to a Russian newspaper. Interesting. Clinton and Trump must pay for what they did for the rest of the men involved. Okay. Another friend, one of many girls who had sexual relationships with Trump. She confided in me about her casual friendship with Trump. Trump definitely seemed to have a thing for her. Okay, this is a quote about the nipples thing. One evening they were showered together. Yeah, okay, that's that quote, which we already read. Importantly, the emails which fatally undermine Miss Ransom's credibility were not available for Miss Maxwell's counsel. So basically, Dershowitz's attorney is saying, hey, like, these emails have no credibility. Okay. So, mark my word. Okay, these are more of the emails. Yeah, there it is. Sarah Ransom. Here it is. I've also gone to the Russian newspaper. You've just lost your exclusive, and I'm super effed off now. Sounds like she's talking to a reporter. I feel strongly about taking down these evil seas. That even if you offered me enough money to buy the biggest super yacht in the world, which would give me the ability to hire and fire all the people that were dicks to me when I worked in the industry, I will not deviate from my goal. Sarah is a little upset. Okay. What is this? This is another one from Sarah Ransom. That's great. We need to get the other girls to come forward, Maureen, as they are all be afraid. I, however, am not intimidated and need your help. These men destroyed my life. I apologize for my first heated email to you, however. When I came across your article in the New York Post, how that happened, I don't know. Everything came flooding back. I would never dream of contacting anyone about this. What they did was wrong, and I've spent the last 10 years trying to forget what happened on the island. There are more girls, Maureen, more than you can ever imagine. They're scared, and so am I. But Jeffrey, Clinton, and Trump must pay for what they did to us and the rest of the men that were involved in their seedy inner circle. We have to get the rest of the girls to come forward somehow. Interesting. Okay, so those are the Trump mentions here. Big Trump mentions here on the you know, these allegations from these Sarah Ransom emails. Okay, so that's Clinton, or sorry, that's Trump. Let's do a little bit more look here on Clinton. A little more looking. Remember, historically, we have heard, this isn't particularly news, but we've heard in the past, years ago, that one of the reasons Epstein potentially got a non-prosecution agreement was that Epstein was above prosecutors' pay grade, and that individuals were quoted saying Epstein belonged to intelligence and to leave it alone. Wow. Okay. Crazy. So, when my friend had sexual intercourse with Clinton, Prince Andrew, Richard Branson, really? Okay, the, oh, what's it called? The Virgin Galactic guy. Hold on, let's see, Richard Branson. Let's double check that. British business, yeah, Virgin Group. Yeah, exactly. He founded the Virgin Group. Okay, good. So, when my friend had sexual intercourse with Clinton, Prince Andrew, Richard Branson now coming up. Sex tapes were filmed on each separate occasion by Jeffrey. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, now we have not seen these videos yet, obviously. Thank God she managed to get hold of some footage of the filmed sex tape, which we clearly identify the faces of Clinton, Prince Andrew, and Branson having sexual intercourse with her. Frustratingly enough, Epstein was not seen in any of the footage, but he was clever like that. Oh, he's the guy behind the camera. Oh, wow. Well, show the tapes, show the pictures. After 2 hours of trying to convince my friend to come forward with me, I eventually managed to persuade her to send me some of the video footage, which she kept, implicating all three men mentioned above. I can personally confirm with my own eyes I've seen the evidence. And who is this from again? Ransom? This is Sarah Ransom. Okay, so Sarah is alleging this. So Sarah makes these allegations about Trump, Clinton, Andrew Branson, Trump with the breasts, and Clinton, Andrew Branson with video. It will break your heart into a million tiny pieces, Maureen, when you watch this footage. And I know what I watched yesterday. They will haunt me for the rest of my life. Unfortunately, I cannot send you the footage without her consent to the massive consequences of her safety, but I confirm I do have the footage in my possession. I've backed up the footage on several USB sticks and have securely sent them to various different locations throughout Europe. Well, this sounds like somebody hiding their crypto keys. When my friend eventually had the courage to speak out and went to the police in 2008 to report what happened, nothing was done. She was utterly humiliated by the police department. She was made to feel like a dirty whore and a liar who wasn't taken seriously. When she tried to sue Epstein for damages, she was severely bullied and threatened by his lawyer, Alan Dershowitz, who was heavily involved in the Epstein pedophile ring. A couple months later, she was approached by Special Agent Forces men sent directly by Hillary Clinton herself in order to protect her presidential campaign. They heavily intimidated her, roughed her up in order to protect her presidential campaign. Luckily, she took photos of this evidence and was then forced to sign a confidentiality agreement to come forward implicating her husband. Okay. This is interesting. Let's see here. Okay. Let me see. I'm just going to double check really quick if there are some more files that they're dropping. I'm going to throw the case number in here really quick and search. These are all directly from the Pacer Court Records website. Okay, let's get those going. Yeah, okay. So this is the part with the Special Forces agents. She was given a substantial payout directly from the Clinton Foundation to keep her quiet. No way! I mean, again, allegations. She is 1,000% certain the FBI did a cover-up. 1,000%, okay. FBI did a cover-up, and she has the individual names of Hillary Clinton special officers who were intimidating her. She was forced against her will to sign a legally binding confidentiality agreement on Hillary's behalf for her eternal silence. If she breaks it, she is dead. Yeah, no, okay, we have all the latest files. I just double-checked to see if there was another drop. No other drop here so far. Okay, I mean, this is 328 pages, so Lot to look at here. Personally met Alan numerous times as Jeffrey had sent him to my legal aid to deal with a case I was going to open against someone whom I met through the website sugardaddy.com. What? He went under the name Censored. Censored also tried to rape me with his friend when we were at anchor on a boat in Miami. Golly. So here's the Clinton tape part. Okay, looking for more of this command. Wow, okay. Looking for more. We've seen this. Special Forces, okay. The Trump. This is a repeat document here of the AIDS and the video, like the Special Forces, not like AIDS, the illness. Okay, SAR. I'm stronger than that, and mark my words, I will take them down with me if you do not publish my story. I mean, this sounds a little unhinged right here. I have already corresponded with the Moscow police and aid them in stopping Hillary or Trump. Wow. I've also emailed WikiLeaks and Anonymous. Wow. You really annoyed the wrong person. So there you have your goddamn headline. I'm taking the world to ransom and taking down the evil people with or without your help. This looks like it's another email from Ransom, given that it's under her name for an exhibit. Okay. This is pretty wild so far. The fact that Trump is in here is going to lead to a lot of Democrats getting very excited and a lot of Republicans getting very questioning of the credibility of these females coming forward with these allegations. Let's see here. Okay. What about there's some talk maybe about a little black box. Let's see here. Black box. Do we have that? Let's let that find for a second. No. Let's try again. Oh, BlackBerry. Okay, I tried to look for my BlackBerry. Oh, Black Box. There it is. Victim notification letter, the Black Box. Black Book of my own. Okay. I will film my own interview on this subject, post it on every single one of my social media apps, and ask everyone to share it. Okay. Again, this is Sarah. This is all right now. Sarah Ransom. Okay. Let's see what else we have in here. So big hits there on Trump, Clinton. What else do we have in this document set? So here's Virginia. This is some discussion about emails, email servers. Let's see here. MindSpring accounts. This all has to do with different email servers, it looks like. A lot of this. Domains. Sarah Kellen. Adriana Ross. Nadia. Who else would you consider? This looks like it's a discussion or sort of just like a summary of some of the quotes. Party's failure to produce evidence. Okay, this looks like legal back and forth and complaining about, the other party not providing evidence. Earthlink account, reset password, Mrs. Max. Okay, yeah, here we go. What is this? Mrs. Maxwell repeatedly tried to explain that she's never logged into a certain account and has no password for it. Ms. Maxwell tried every avenue available through Earthlink to reset the password. In fact, when one attempts to recover a password for that account, the system says the email you entered is not an Earthlink email address. Okay, yeah, so that's just infighting about discovery. Her undisclosed email account of her on Epstein's server that she cannot access. Substantial data missing from the defendant. Okay, this is very common legal complaining about, hey, we asked for stuff, the other party's not giving it to us. Okay, what is this here in pink? Move to compel the testimony of Epstein. Yeah, well, he dead now. Okay, so this looks like arguing with essentially the judge. Force him to testify. So we're entitled to force him. Again, we're not trying to force him to testify to everything under the sun. We want him to testify to the events before 2010, so that's outside the 5-year statute of limitations. And we're not even asking him to testify on events concerning him. So here's a lot of basically trying to get Epstein ordered to testify in front of the judge or compelled to testify. Okay. Get some more here. This is all, looks like discussion here with Florida search warrants. Yeah, a lot of this is just court discussion. So I'm going to go forward a little bit more here. Court transcripts. What do we have here? Plaintiff's reply in support of motion to compel. Okay, I don't know that we're going to get much here, but let's look at this. Preliminary statement. Let's see here. Yeah, this is all talking again about finding emails. Defendant doubled down on the waiver for being able to find documents. Okay, most of this so far seems to be fighting about emails, with the exception of the Donald Trump allegation and Clinton allegation and Richard Branson allegation. Both of which, that's a declaration of an attorney, both of which, or all three of which rather, are from Sarah Ransom. Here's some... Okay, we got some photos here. What is this? Background. Non-party Sarah Ransom has already provided significant discovery in this case. So she's not a party to the lawsuit. She previously flew from Barcelona to New York, set for a 10-hour deposition, and produced many relevant documents. Indeed, witness Ransom has provided more significant evidence, including photographic evidence and electronic communications, than defendant has produced in 2 years. Defendant has not produced a single document and a single photograph before 2009. Fine. Okay, so what do we have here? Various females on island from Ransom here, including Nadia. Okay. There's Jeffrey Epstein on an ATV. I don't know why this is so exceptionally confidential, but okay. All right. So just various pictures of girls here. Nadia and a few of them. So far, all of them. Okay. Here we go. Defendant photos. More defendant photos. Oh, there's Jean-Luc Brunel. See, you got to get the dudes in with them. Then you can get some stuff. Jeffrey Epstein and a friend. Who's that guy? Boy, that looks like a scene from The Sopranos on the right. Okay. That's it? Non-party Sarah Ransom. All right. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. I will fax my application. Could you please tell Jeffrey to phone me on the number I gave him ASAP? I'm not prepared to go under 56 kg in order to study at FIT. I also need a flight booked back to New York. It's 56 kg is a reference to, losing weight under a certain amount to be able to maybe qualify for something. That would be 123.5 pounds. I'm not prepared to go under 56 kg in order to study at FIT. Study at FIT. I wonder what that is. Fashion Institute of Technology. Maybe. Okay. Fashion Institute of Technology? I'm not sure. So I'll put a question mark there. Here is your flight details. What is it with grammar these days? You will be going with a girl named Simona and a guy named Val Dawson or whatever. FIT is it? Yeah. Okay. Let's put that here. Please let me know you got this. Okay. Passengers. Seat confirmed. Whatever. Ransoms. Documents. We'll just say Sarah because it sounds so funky to say ransom. It also sounds confusing. So, non-party sex trafficking. Well, yeah, these look like flight logs, huh? Yeah. Non-party ransom identified as a passenger on Epstein flight logs. We just need to get more of these flight logs. Interesting. I don't know if this is designed to try to, establish her credibility or whatever. I'd like to see some dates I can't see dates on this. I don't know. Maybe somebody else has an idea of where there are dates on here, but I don't see any dates. Okay. Documents do not lie. Make it abundantly clear Maxwell was far from truthful regarding her deposition. Rather than engage Ransom's allegations on the merit, defendant responds with technicalities. For example, defendant attempts to suggest that Virginia's counsel was not diligent in disclosing Ransom, yet if there was any failure of disclosure here, it was entirely the defendant's fault. Okay. So this is all complaining about discovery again, which, okay. Courts have routinely denied the discovery of non-parties when it comes to obtaining information. That's fine. Okay, we have anything else here? You went through each one. I went through all my emails to get everything. This is all about getting documents. But we care about what the documents say, not about the process of getting them, in my opinion. Short of reading all 328 pages here without trying to just go for the juicy stuff or the stuff that we care about. So, preliminary statement, what is this here? Non-party, Sarah Ransom's responses and objections to the subpoenas by Maxwell. Okay, that's unlikely to be entertaining. Objecting to the, seeking of her. This is very common. Like, basically, if you make noise in a lawsuit, they'll just pepper you to death with a bunch of requests and subpoenas. It's just a way of trying to get you to, be dissuaded from, frankly, being involved, or to try to discredit you. Which that makes sense. What is this? Those are just file names, like some sorts of screenshots of file names. With random file numbers. That doesn't really mean anything. What's this on a modeling contract? Sarah, fearful of her life. She's not providing her driver license. Well, did not produce her South African passport from 06 to 07. Not producing any of her passports. Okay, this is again complaining about production, discovery. What's this? This is... some sort of discussion with the judge here, it looks like. This is all scheduling. Scheduling with the judge. The court looks at papers. No contradictions. Fine. Go back to the original allegations. Fine. This is why court takes for frickin' ever. Everything's a fight. Getting documents is a fight. Getting, forcing the other side to give all the information is, well, that's the same thing. It's part of discovery. That's a fight. Getting the judges to try to force the other people to give information is a fight. Okay. I need to get to filming some more lectures for our gold course, by the way. There are some more people have been asking for. So if anybody's been interested in that, you can hit me up in Discord for some more suggestions. metkevin.com/chat or meetkevin.com/chat. Either of those should get you in our Discord. Okay, so... yeah, this is complaining about the deposition, about it's been 13 hours. This is Virginia's response to appoint a special master to preside over the third deposition of the defendant. So this is arguing about whether somebody should be deposed or not. Okay, that's not a big deal. Yeah, and then we get to the items that we've had. So I think what we ought to do is... I mean, that's I believe... the bulk of it. I'm going to do a quick double check, and then we'll do a summary here, including this talk about the videotapes of Clinton and Branson, as well as, it looks like Trump. Huh. Yeah, no, let's see. Fiance's life is in danger. Yeah, we've reviewed that. Huh. You know what's very interesting to me? Hold on a second here. Wow, very interesting. So, okay, I could be wrong here, but you know, an account on X, which obviously leans right, which is suggesting that they are unbiased, is not showing. They're showing all of the other things, well, a lot of the other stuff that we've been talking about, but they're not showing this line about Trump. They're choosing this out of the entire collection of court documents, and they're choosing not to show this. How interesting. How very interesting. Okay, let's do a summary of this, but that's, come on. That's very interesting. I mean, because all of it could be BS, right? Anyway, let's do a summary here and put the summary together. Very, 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 very interesting. Okay, ready? Okay. Wow, you won't believe this. So first of all, Donald Trump just got mentioned, and it has a lot to do with these things right here on the court files. These are directly from Pacer.com. I'll have them linked on ehack.com so you can see them all for free, because otherwise you have to pay like $30 to get the 328 pages. But anyway, Donald Trump gets mentioned in this. Videotapes of Epstein filming Richard Branson from Virgin Galactic, Clinton, and other folks are mentioned in this. I'm going to go through all of these mentions, and you're going to see everything about Donald Trump as well. But I want to be really clear, at least as of this point, and I want to be exceptionally clear because, you know, generally I respect this account on Twitter, and I've been looking at all these documents myself, and I thought, you know what, let's just see what they're saying. I have not seen any mention on their account. This is Mario's account on Twitter. I have not seen, when I look at Trump, I don't see any mentions to what you're about to see regarding Trump on any of these recent posts from Mario on Twitter, which is weird because X has been known to start maybe leaning more right. Mario, you're saying you're unbiased, bro. Put this up because it's in the same files. Now, again, I don't have a horse in this race. I don't care. I'm just going to show you all the documents in the 328 pages, and this is what they're hiding. This is what the Twitter is not showing right now. And again, we don't know if this is true. These are in the court files. You could go to Pacer.com, sign up for an account, and get them yourself. I don't want you to think like I'm somehow biased in showing something versus not. I'm just going to put it all up. The case number, if you want to put it in, it's 1:15-CV-07433-LAP. You actually don't even have to put the LAP in. It comes up without the lap. Okay, that's a weird word. But anyway, this appears to be, and we don't know, this could all be bullcrap. All of the case documents could be bullcrap, right? So let's be very clear about that. But what we do know is that this document is within the entire file set. You could go to page 316 if you do it in order. And it says here, this is all it starts with. Like, there's nothing before it. It just says Exhibit 6, and then it literally says this. Several girls at any one time. She confided in me about her casual friendship with Donald. Mr. Trump definitely seemed to have a thing for her, and she told me how he kept going on about how he liked her pert nipples. Donald Trump liked flicking and sucking her nipples until they were raw. One evening, when we were showering together, she showed me her nipples. They looked incredibly painful as they were red and swollen, and I remember wincing when I looked at them. I also knew she had sexual relations with Trump at Jeffrey's New York mansion on regular occasions, as I once met Jen for coffee. So, Virginia, who's one of the plaintiffs in this case, goes by the nickname Jenna, which could be shortened Jen here. We don't know with certainty. So I wrote Virginia because I think it's Virginia. Now, if you look at the bottom of this, it actually says that this file is an exhibit from Ransom, whom we believe to be Sarah Ransom. Sarah Ransom was 22 in 2006 when she was supposedly first abused by Jeffrey Epstein. And according to her, via the Daily Mail, a JP Morgan employee told her not to report the abuses she dealt with the Epsteins. Remember, Epstein was a JP Morgan client from 1998 to 2013. I added all this red text here, right? But what's interesting is Virginia started working for Epstein allegedly when she was 16 to 17 in 1999 to 2000. That would make Virginia underage. Sarah is talking about Virginia but the problem is Sarah didn't start working for Epstein allegedly until 2006. But by 2006, Virginia wouldn't have been 16 to 17. She would have been 22 to 23. So is it possible that Donald Trump is involved or was involved? Yes. Does this suggest Donald Trump was involved with Virginia when Virginia was underage? No. This does not suggest that Donald Trump was involved when Virginia was underage. The most this alleges is that Donald Trump, well, fondled a girl's nipples who was between 22 and 23 named Virginia. That's really what this document alleges about Trump. I do think it's interesting that certain groups are hiding this and are not talking about this. I don't know why, but I guess that's just how the game is played on social media. Maybe it's unpopular to do it, but my thing is, what can I do to just provide both sides? And you make your opinion. I have no horse in this race. I don't care. So, okay, now this is the Clinton part, okay? This is another one where it cuts off. It goes Exhibit 5, and then it goes, whilst he spanked his thingy on her bottom. And we don't know who his is here. It's cut off. She also had to have, so it makes it sound like she was forced. She also had to have sexual intercourse with Clinton in Epstein's New York mansion just off Fifth Avenue on numerous occasions. Yes, I do see the comment here. Yes, it is possible that Virginia's, business was paid for, but we don't know. But anyway, okay, back to this. She also had to have sexual intercourse with Clinton in Epstein's New York mansion off Fifth Avenue on numerous occasions. It's the New York mansion we spoke about yesterday. I, too, was forced by Epstein to visit regularly. And this is Sarah Ransom again. And if I didn't turn up, he would personally come and find me wherever I was hiding. It bewilders me how Epstein always seemed to know where I was if I didn't turn up at his New York residence. When my friend had sexual intercourse with Clinton, Prince Andrew, and Richard Branson, the founder of the Virgin Group, like Virgin Galactic and whatever, sex tapes were, in fact, filmed on each separate occasion by Jeffrey. Huge allegation. Thank God she managed to get a hold of some footage of the filmed sex tapes, which clearly identify the faces of Clinton, Prince Andrew, and Branson having sexual intercourse with her. Frustratingly enough, Epstein was not seen in any of the footage, but he was clever like that. I'm going to, remember, give me like 10 minutes after I post this video, I'll have this link on ehack.com so you could just see my annotations on the actual documents where I'm reading this from. And then that way you could look at it, or just go to pacer.com and find it yourself. You just have to pay for it if you go there. Okay, after 2 hours of trying to convince, that's where I just put all my research, by the way. Look, I'm a finance guy. I usually don't get involved in this kind of drama, but this is like political drama and has big implications for the election, which obviously has implications for finance. So we want to cover it. Anyway, after 2 hours of trying to convince my friend to come forward with me, I eventually managed to persuade her to send me some of the video footage, which she kept, implicating all three men mentioned above. Obviously, at this point, we haven't seen any of this video footage. We haven't seen any like screenshots from it or whatever. But this is just Sarah Ransom saying, I can personally confirm that I have with my own two eyes seen the evidence of these sexual acts, which clearly identifies Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, and Richard Branson as having sexual intercourse with my friend. No Donald Trump not being mentioned in this portion. I will be more than willing to swear under oath and testify in court over these sex tapes. It will break your heart. Why swear and testify under oath? Just show the videos. It will break your heart into a million tiny pieces, Maureen. This is an email to a reporter, I believe, named Maureen. When you watch this footage, and I know what I watched yesterday, it will haunt me for the rest of my life. She made me feel like a dirty whore, and I wasn't taken seriously. This is when she argues, or her friend went to the police station to report that she had been abused. She argues she was humiliated by the police department. They didn't believe her. When she tried to sue Epstein for damages, she was severely bullied and threatened by his lawyer, Alan Dershowitz, whom she also had sexual relations with, and who was also heavily involved in the Epstein pedophile ring. A couple months later, she was approached by Special Forces men sent directly by Hillary Clinton herself. They heavily intimidated her, ruffled her up, and was then forced to sign a confidentiality agreement, which ensures she can never come forward publicly implicating her husband. She was then given a substantial payout directly from the Clinton Foundation to keep her quiet. She is 100% certain that the FBI did a cover-up, and she had the individual names of Hillary's special officers involved in intimidating her. She was then forced against her will to sign a legally binding confidentiality agreement on Hillary's behalf for her eternal silence. If she breaks the agreement, she is dead. I personally met Alan on multiple times. Jeffrey sent him to my legal aid to deal with a case I opened against Redacted, whom I met through the online website sugardaddy.com. And so also tried to rape me with his friend. Okay, so a lot of huge allegations there. The other things that you want to see are just from these ransom files are the style of some of these emails. So we need to get the other girls to come forward. Maureen, as they are all afraid. There are more girls, Maureen. More than you can imagine. They're scared. And I am. But Jeffrey, Clinton, and Trump must pay for what they did to us. And the rest of men that were involved in their seedy inner circle. We have to get the rest of the girls to come forward somehow. Okay, that's another one. Then we've got one right here. Now this starts sounding a little unhinged because you see the exclamation marks and we could call it passion or what. But anyway, I'm stronger than that. Mark my words. I will take them down and you down with me if you do not publish my story. Woo! I've already corresponded with the Moscow police and aid them in stopping Hillary and Trump in getting through. I will film my own interview and post it on all of my own social media. I've emailed WikiLeaks and Anonymous. Like, there's clearly some desperation here by Ransom to get her story out. And that is leading some people to question the legitimacy of her allegations against what she saw with her friend's relationship, with potentially Donald Trump, and the, nipple argument, as well as the Clinton video footage, or Richard Branson footage. Sarah Ransom here says, mark my words, I will make sure that neither that evil bitch Hillary or that pedophile Trump gets elected. I will make sure that everybody on the goddamn planet sees that footage, and photos will release them to WikiLeaks by Sunday. I will take Epstein and his bunch of F-wit cronies myself. I have gone to a Russian newspaper. Seemingly as the US government won't help me, surprise, surprise, I will help myself, just like I always have. You've just lost your exclusive and I'm super effed off now. I feel strongly about taking these evil C's down. Okay. Let's get another one here. So, okay. So then we're going to hit the fit. And here's another part of the testimony we want to look at. This was interesting. So she testified that Epstein and Maxwell, knowing Jane Doe 43 was financially destitute and was suffering from depression, lured her into their commercial sex trafficking ring with the false promises of taking care of her and paying for her education if she complied with their demands. Okay. That's interesting. Then we have let's get to some of the other highlights we have here. It's 328 pages, so I'm trying to get you to the best parts. What do we have here? There was a lot in these 328 pages, by the way, about denying access to emails and discovery. That was probably the bulk of the 300 pages, trying to get Epstein to testify in this file drop. This is the January 8th file drop here. We do have some background on Sarah Ransom, basically arguing that she provides pictures, that these all came from Ransom to indicate that she was involved. So the files are labeled Ransom, which is just a crazy ironic last name. But anyway, there's Jeffrey Epstein on an ATV or a quad. Here are some other girls, including Nadia, who was involved. Here's Nadia multiple other times, photos, defendant. Multiple photos over here. There's that Jean-Luc Brunel, who was alleged by Virginia to have sex with Virginia when she was underage. This is a photo of Sarah Ransom. This was interesting as well. This argument here that, could you please tell Jeffrey to phone me on the item or the number I gave him ASAP, as I'm not prepared to go under 56 kg, which is about 123.5 pounds, to join to study at FIT. I think that's the Fashion Institute of Technology. I'm not exactly sure about that. That FIT is that, but that is what's being alleged here. Okay, so then let's see here. This is another interesting one. Okay, let's throw this up on screen here. Maxwell bullied me. Look at this one. Ransom. Well, in fact, she used to personally call me herself to give Jeffrey massages, not body massages, sexual massages. It should be rephrased. I mean, it was pretty obvious. I mean, the whole weight thing. I tried to swim off the island. I tried to escape from an island during the evening and tried to escape from her because I didn't lose weight. They would cut me out of their financially off. So cut her off financially, basically. I would lose the place I was staying at. I would lose my education, you name it. They bullied me with everything, just like they did with the other girls. There are many allegations in these documents that there are many other girls. There are also allegations or suggestions here that Ransom was listed on flight logs to Epstein's Island. And here's a screenshot of those. Although these flight logs, I don't know if they're just using... nicknames here or acronyms, or if Ransom is written in there in small letters or something. It could be. It's very difficult for me to tell from this PDF document. So that's something else that came up. And if we go to the summaries, summary text, most of this we've gone through, but quickly, if you want to yourself, you could go to page 136. And you can read some more of the key testimony. Defendant's direct involvement. This is all about Sarah Ransom today. These are the Ransom messages. Clarifying that body massages meant sex, that massages were sex. We've heard that before. Maxwell was Epstein's main right-hand woman between 2006 and 2007. Here's more information about seeing with her own eyes how other girls reported to them, how younger girls reported to them. And let's see here. Let's see if there's anything else that's new in this summary here. I don't think there is. I don't have anything else highlighted, but we'll do a quick little look. Girls were paid to recruit other girls. Maxwell was paid for the recruitment of younger females, including you, what she told me. Apart from what she told you, do you have any other basis for this? Well, I saw it with my own eyes. I was a witness. What did you witness? I witnessed the same thing all the other girls did. The same thing I had to do was go and report for Sarah, Leslie, and Maxwell. Maxwell obviously being the top person, deemed to be Mama Bear. Then we've got Jeffrey then went on. Jeffrey went into bed on plane, having open sex with Nadia for everyone to see on display. Nadia was straddling Jeffrey for quite some time. I was watching them both E-word with each other. They were having quite a good time together. This is all trying to establish Ransom at or on the plane. Okay, let's see here. Clothing, Victoria's Secret clothing, they were provided. We've seen this in other allegations as well, that Jeffrey Epstein would frequently give girls money to buy lingerie from Victoria's Secret. And that's about the bulk of the docs. So keep in mind, the part that you might not see the most about, depending on where the political sources are coming from, are quite frankly the last pages here. And this is a document here where Dershowitz suggests that Ransom lacks credibility. And so that's going to be a big thing. Obviously, people start debating is that, hey, this Ransom girl has no credibility. Don't listen to a word she says. And part of the reason for that is because, by the way, here's Sarah Ransom arguing that her emails have been hacked. I've reached out to Russians for help and they're coming to my aid. Thank goodness for Anonymous. Some of these emails do feel very unhinged. There's a lot of this. I mean, I know there's probably a very stressful situation going on here, but lines like, I will make sure they all go behind bars. I've already sent everything I need to. The CIA, hacking my emails, etc. We're too late. I also have numerous devices with systems that are unhackable. I have film footage all over Europe itching to be released. Thanks again for your help. You really took one for the team. Okay, this is also very bizarre because it's Sarah emailing herself. But anyway, don't believe me. I can prove that too. You don't know what I am and what I'm not going to go away until I have achieved my goals of getting the bad guys where they belong. Okay, so convinced. Then we have this. This is actually a duplicate of one of the other exhibits that we saw in Clinton. And again, this is the Clinton section here we covered at the beginning of the video, which was the my friend had sexual intercourse with Clinton, Prince Andrew, and Branson, likely referring to Virginia, who was underage at one point. And then this is the Donald Trump mention about her casual friendship with Trump, which involved fondling her breasts at Donald Trump fondling her breasts at Jeffrey's mansions on regular occasions. But again, remember that the girl alleging this didn't start working with the Epsteins until 2006. And by then, if this indeed was Virginia they're talking about, Virginia was probably between 22 and 23 years old. So that gives you a full update on the latest that is on these tapes. So thanks so much for being here. If you want to learn more about my perspectives, an unbiased way to build your wealth, this is kind of a weird place to mention this, but go to meetkevin.com. I can teach you how to build wealth in real estate, how to minimize paying taxes, become an entrepreneur, expand your entrepreneur business, your sales skills, your ability to defer paying taxes, potentially in some cases never pay taxes on your investments. There's some great ways to do that. So take a look at that, all at meetkevin.com. Thank you so much for being here. It's coffee time, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.